Hi, I am Erin Parks of Parks Ag Solutions, and this is March of 2026, what I call our Grain Marketing and Assistance Program, where we do a little bit deeper dive into an agriculture topic, especially focusing on marketing. The whole point of this is for education and maybe a little bit of entertainment, but this one has very little entertainment. There is no way to be in March of 2026 without talking about the war going on between the US and Israel and Iran. So that's what we're going to be talking about. What do you do in that grain marketing with your grain marketing during that time? So, these type of situations isn't just for the conflict in Iran. It's going to be any type of conflict that affects these different markets. So, this is going to bring our attention to crude oil, diesel, fertilizer, shipping, and just almost like a global inflation. In agriculture, which is all of us, you're going to be focused then on, we could see increase in cost in freight. Fertilizer cost, especially, that's one that's getting a lot of talk about, but also drying cost especially if you're using any type of natural gas. War does not always mean a long linear rally. Great example is going to be what we saw with Russia and Ukraine. We had almost 6 months of prices, especially on wheat, which was the major concern in that part of the world, really rally up. But here we are over 3 years later, and it's really turned into a non-topic. And the markets just really isn't moving too much now. We're back focused on weather and what's going on as far as their weather and what are they producing as opposed to the war going on there. Here are some things to keep in mind as we're going through this year with the war in Iran being a big topic. Number one, and you've heard this on a lot of different things, but reward the rallies. And this isn't the only time I've said this, but especially once your sales are profitable, make sure you're taking advantage of some of that with selling some of your grain. On your balance sheets and your cash flows, make sure you're updating your costs, especially when it comes to fertilizer, especially when it comes to fuel. Don't confuse news stories with a change in fundamentals. Especially right now, there's a lot of news. It's pretty constant and it's ever changing. But fundamentally, at least for the 26 crop, we can have a whole nother video about the 27 crop. But at least for the 26 crop, fundamentally, there's not a lot of change. You can see during these type of conflicts, issues, that it could affect one crop year over another. So right now, like on beans, we're seeing old crop beans being more affected than new crop beans. So like old crop beans are trading around 1168 to 1170 right now. New crop is only trading around 1140 to 1145. So both have went up, but the old crop has went up more dramatically. So what it boils down to, war headlines can create marketing opportunities, but you have to be disciplined. You have to let this be a conduit to work your plan. Let's say this hadn't been going on. Now, the beginning of February, our price on beans was at $10.67. And what did I say? Like we're at $11.68 right now for May on the board. So it has created a rally that has created some opportunity. This is a time to recognize when we have those opportunities. But again, you have to be disciplined. Don't let your emotions, don't let other people's emotions, could do a whole nother video on that as well. Don't let your emotions or other people's emotions take over. Don't let the news take over of what your marketing plan is. Stay calm and stick to that original plan with your original goals, keeping profitability Number one at the top of your list. All right, I know this is kind of a crazy time. A lot of you may have not went through a big conflict, a war like this, because it's been a number of years, especially in the Middle East, where we've seen a conflict like this affect so many different markets. And it is something we will keep an eye on. It's something we will continue to talk about. Hey, do you have questions about this? Please don't hesitate to send me an email. I'd love to have a conversation with you. All right, talk to you next month.